Hey everyone, I thought I would go live in my group as well as on my Facebook page on this topic because it's one that has become very close to my heart. It gave me a big fright, and I think it's a very, very important part of our businesses as coaches that we tend to neglect. So I've just had a 1-hour Zoom conversation that has gone out live on my Facebook page, which is Niche Intelligence with Megan Hudson. As our guests, one of the guests was Dr. Mongezi Makhalima, who has the coaching professional body, the African Board for Coaches, Consultants and Coaching Psychologists, the ABCCP. He also lectures at Wits University, one of our universities up here in Joburg. He's been coaching for longer than I have, and he's got his PhD in coaching, but specifically on the topic of credibility. So it's well worth watching. One of my other guests was Alexa Stafford, and she actually raised a situation that hadn't even occurred to me. So let me give you a little bit of background. What happened was, about just over a week ago, I, without any warning, developed glandular fever. I suddenly felt so ill that I said to my husband, there is something really wrong with me. I need you to take me to the doctor. And off we went, and I've been put off and told to rest for 3 weeks, which you can see that I'm not doing. And in fact, I must admit that so the first week I slept. I didn't come out of our bedroom. I hardly ate. I was so exhausted and so finished that my family saw absolutely nothing of me. It's only really, and what happened was, I obviously had to postpone any meetings that I had planned. And my coaching clients, I had to postpone my coaching sessions with them. Anyway, this week has been my first week kind of back in the saddle, so to speak, and I've picked up just very, at a low level, very quietly with my coaching clients, so that I don't hold them back in their progress, because they're working through modules on my 12-week marketing and sales accelerator program, and then I coach them one-on-one on whatever comes up for them in their business. And I didn't want to hold them back. And also, I even had one of my clients say to me, she was very glad that we were able to meet so that she didn't lose any of the momentum that she started building up. But it gave me a tremendous shock, because you think you're bulletproof until you're not. And we take for granted as solopreneurs and people who are in business by ourselves, for ourselves, we take for granted that we are infallible. And then all of a sudden something happens that we don't plan for, and our businesses grind to a halt, and with it, our income. So imagine, for example, that you got hit by a bus. We always talk about being hit by a bus. What actually would happen while you were busy recovering in hospital from, possibly surgery or whatever? What would actually happen in your business? And have you thought about it and put plans and policies and procedures in place so that your business can continue at a certain level without you? So if you've been watching what I've been posting on social media recently, you'll see that I was feeling quite smug about the fact that over the last year to 18 months, I've actually been shifting my entire business online. I now have 2 online courses. I coach most of my clients virtually. And I thought, you know, when COVID hit and everything shut down and all of my coaching colleagues were complaining about the fact that they couldn't travel to, you know, get to see their clients, and they'd had to cancel business and everything, I thought, you know what, I'm cool, I'm okay. Well, so much for that, because I hadn't taken into account, or I'd forgotten the little minor detail that if I'm not there coaching my clients aren't getting the value that they have actually paid for or invested for in terms of my 12-week marketing and sales accelerator course. So it's not, this is not a direct marketing related topic, but it's something that if we want to call ourselves business professionals, if we want to consider ourselves as professional entrepreneurs, we actually really do need to look at this whole subject and topic very, very seriously. So there are 2 scenarios that I had started sketching out. The one was, have you structured your business? Hello, Vanda, it's lovely. Thanks for being here. And I will get hold of you so that we can have that conversation. But the one scenario is, have you structured your business in a particular way so that you can do things like take a 3 or 6 week holiday without your business grinding to a halt? And there are 2 people who come to mind whose businesses have actually been a little bit structured to support a particular type of lifestyle. So the one is, I've got a business coach, or I've worked with a business coach, Chanel Segurius Bruce. She's based in Jeffreys Bay, but towards the end, I think it was towards the end of last year, she and her family took a 2-month, they were intending to be away for 2 months in Bali. But part of that 2-month period was they were actually meeting up with a client of Chanel's in Bali, where they were going to be doing like a whole rebranding, filming videos for this client. So while they were taking a family, I don't want to call it a vacation so much as a kind of traveling as a family, it was structured, or it was being supported by her business. I've got another friend, Classy Vessels. He runs a company called Street School, and he runs experiential learning journeys. So these are deep journeys into yourself, into kind of inner change. And he does 2 journeys because he actually enjoys them so much himself. So he uses his business to fund himself being able to do things that he really enjoys, and he's integrated them into what his business actually is. And the one is treks to Everest Base Camp, and you've heard me talk a couple of times about the training that I did to go on one of his trips in April 2016, but my husband and I ended up cancelling because of personal circumstances. But Classy's business subsidizes a certain lifestyle and certain things that he likes doing. The other thing that his business does is he takes people on the most amazing 3-week personal development journeys to Dharamsala, which is the home of the Tibetan government in exile. And he's gotten to know people in the Tibetan government so well that the majority of times that he takes groups to Dharamsala, if His Holiness the Dalai Lama is in residence, these people get to meet the Dalai Lama in person. I mean, how special is that? So, those are two people who've actually structured their businesses around being able to be away and doing things, taking tropical holidays in Chanel's case, but also earning at the same time. So that's a deliberate business strategy. And I want to ask you, if you wanted to go on a 6-week cruise, what would happen? Your business would grind to a halt, right? So think about the things that you would be able to put in place so that you would still be able to earn some kind of an income even if you weren't there. Do you have small, short, self-published ebooks that you could sell for maybe less than $20? Do you have, so I've got a 5-module course on finding and defining your niche. That is a self-study course for $49 that, you know, I would be able to just run an ads campaign on Facebook to the course for the whole period that I was away on a 6-week Caribbean cruise, and hopefully I would earn enough money to be able to pay for the cruise and a little bit more. So that's one of the scenarios. So finding viable alternatives and ways of conducting your business if you want to do if you're going to be out of action for a long period because of leisure activities. So I want to encourage you to consider, you know, creating a self-study, standalone something that you can sell, or a book or something that can just be an alternative source of income. It might even be that you become an affiliate for somebody else's program that you are a guest speaker on. So I've been a guest expert on a number of other people's programs, and what I could choose to do is, while I'm away on my cruise, actually you know, promote their programs and earn an affiliate commission from anybody who signs up using my affiliate link. Then you have the other side of the coin, which is where you get seriously ill. So you might be in a car accident, or otherwise you might get you know, something like cancer, where you have to undergo months and months of chemotherapy and serious treatment and be really, really out of action. And I actually, one example was one of my clients that is on retainer. Last year, she was diagnosed with cancer and had to have some very serious surgery. And even though she's an absolute workaholic, her doctor, her surgeon, was insistent that she was completely out of action for 3 months. So fortunately, part of it fell over the Christmas period. But this particular client of mine has got such a strong brand and reputation that her clients, when she spoke to them one-on-one about what had happened to her and what she was going through, her clients were quite prepared to wait until she was well enough again to work with them. But an alternative approach might be that she could have called in colleagues, because she has created quite a strong and sound network of 4 people that I can think of who she works with very, very closely, who she would be able to say as an alternative, while I am out of commission, I can give you the choice of working with this person, or this person. So it's important that we look at surrounding ourselves by a network that could possibly fit in as, you know, where we could offer guest expert training over a period of weeks, so that our clients are always receiving some kind of value for us, even if we aren't able to be there for a period of time. One of the, I was listening to, you know, in preparing for this, I was listening to a podcast, and these business partners were talking about how they had both, they'd passed influenza germs on from the one partner to the other, so they were both out of action at pretty much at the same time. And they said that their learning coming out of this experience, where they had both, you know, thought that they would be able to start the year, start their business and get up and running without, you know, any delays or setbacks, their learning both was to prioritize, and amongst their priorities was to prioritize those things that protect their health. Because we have to look at ourselves, just as you would polish furniture. Hello, Mish. Hello, my darling. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining me. Just as we would polish our own furniture, or you know, do maintenance on the outside of our house, we need to similarly do maintenance on ourselves and take care of ourselves if we are solopreneurs, because we have to protect our health. It is one of our biggest assets, and we take it for granted until it's not there. So we need to learn how to prioritize if we are taken out of action. We need to be able to look at what we can postpone, what we can delay, what we can outsource, what we can eliminate completely. And you know, we do go down rabbit holes sometimes, and there are things that we can eliminate. And finally, we really need to spend more time looking at what we can automate. So that's just you know, a couple of points that I wanted to make from my own personal experience. On the live that I did on my Facebook page, Alexa Stafford, one of my colleagues, you know, fellow coach, she's part of a network of coaches, and there was one person in particular who was the person who would secure the majority of the business for this group, and who was the real rainmaker. And this person has passed away from COVID-19. And she, as an individual, as a solo coach, a large proportion of her business came from working within this group and this conglomerate of coaches. And so she's now kind of, her business risk is very high because of somebody else that she relied on to be a rainmaker for her. So that's another, you know, if you are part of a coaching panel, or if you're part of one of those companies that you know, puts coaches forwards to organizations, and all of a sudden that organization, you know, that company is no longer able to operate. Again, this is a huge what's the word, risk in terms of your business continuity. And I think we owe it to our clients to be able to give them some kind of assurance of continuity. Even someone like me who's running online programs where I do one-on-one coaching throughout the program, if something happened to me, what would happen to my client's investment in terms of how, and have I contracted to refund or reimburse my clients. Say I, was killed in a car accident, heaven forbid, and touch wood, but have I contracted to reimburse my clients if I am no longer there to do the coaching component of what they have invested in? So they're all the things that policies and procedures that we need to really think through in our businesses to maintain our level of credibility with our clients, because part of credibility is business continuity and is being able to guarantee to our clients that they will not be negatively impacted or affected should something happen to us. So that's all I wanted to say for today. Thank you so much to everybody who's joined me online, and I'm sure there'll be more on this topic in the future. Do pop over to my Facebook page and watch that video as well, because I think I haven't covered everything in this video, in this live that I covered in the Zoom conversation earlier, and it is quite an important topic that we need to take into account as business professionals, and if we are positioning ourselves as professionals. But thanks for joining me. Take care.